Hey guys, I share Rachel Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Today's gonna be a banger of a video. I'm in a spooky mood. I want to talk about a Halloween champion from years ago, right? Actually, this is when I started playing the game. When I really started getting into Raid Shadow Legends was in the 2019 Halloween Fusion time period, right? This is when Brackus the Shifter was added to the game. By the way, when we talk about Halloween champions, I love the dark, spooky, gothic aesthetics, right? That go hand in hand, obviously, with Halloween. But man, when we look at some of these old school Halloween champions, Plarium, if you're watching, how about you buff them? How about some buffs, please? Brackus the Shifter, I would love to see a buff to this dude. Speaking of which, how about good old Harvest Jack? How about Harvest Jack, man? I love this champion, the Jack-o'-lantern. It's that time of year, Plarium. Give the Halloween champion some love, please, because I would love to see Harvest Jack more viable. His kit is not that great nowadays, honestly. But either way, he was a Halloween champion. We got a lot of them, honestly. I think we had Volcanos last year. Is that right? I think Siffy and Rhodos. I don't know. I mean, there's been a real hodgepodge. One of my all-time favorites, though, was Miscreated Monster. Good old Frank, man. He's an absolute beast. He's probably my second favorite epic ever added for Halloween, and he's one of my favorite epics in the game. I think he's still got it today too, like the stun, the shield, the ally protection, the cool passive. Honestly, like, this is a really good kit even here in 2025, which is testament to the design on this champion. Today we're talking about another old school who is really truly a special champion. She's very close to a legendary in disguise, and I think that today she's actually really solid and still underused in the game. People moved away from Madame Serris in the polymorph meta. Now she's seeing a little bit of a resurgence. Now we do have other options for buff removal out there. I'm looking at you, Marius. We have an updated video coming out in a day or two as well. But Madame Serris, man, she still has a lot of potential that she can bring to your team and your account, and I would behoove you to take her out of the vault. Try her out again. Not just because of that A3, but because of the A2 as well. She really does read in a lot of ways like a legendary champion. We'll talk about why in today's video, as for this spooky Halloween, we revisit Madame Serris. But first, shall we just take a moment to admire the best skins in all of Raid Shadow Legends? That's right, the Bloodveil skin. Oh my word. Look at this one, guys. Holy mackerel. Man, that is a beautiful skin, is it not? Damn. Also, Hellbirth. They're actually kind of a little bit similar. I don't have the Hellbirth skin. I do have the Blood Veil, which I will be using in today's video. But honestly, even her classic skin is it's classic. It's a classic. But the Hellbirth is also really incredible. Sorry, a little choppy in the background there, but really incredible, man. That's just a beautiful design. Okay, skins. I kind of want to see more. Why is she good? Why is she still an unbelievably effective legendary in disguise? She has fears all over the place. The chances of placing the fear on her A1 escalate depending on how many debuffs the target is under. On her A2, this is the ability that I think is most slept on from Madame Serris. We have an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown, okay? We have a 50% chance of stealing a buff from everybody, and then as long as you steal one buff, you have a block debuffs on a 3-turn cooldown for a 2-turn duration. That's freaking super solid alone. But then we're placing a true fear for 1 turn on enemies who have buffs stolen. Listen, getting a block debuffs on a 2-turn, 3-turn cooldown from a void is very good. Not to mention we're stealing buffs, we're true fearing, control. It's a beautiful ability here, and it complements the rest of her kit just splendidly. Midnight Ritual, 6 booked down to a 4. She actually got a nerf. Some OG old school players out there will remember Madame Serris used to have a 3-turn cooldown on this ability. Talk about broken. One of the few epics they went in and nerfed over the years. Who else have they nerfed for epics? I mean, Uragrim. I can't think of that many, though, honestly. Anyway, a full buff removal from a Void Affinity champion, a decreased attack and a decreased defense for 2 turns. And then she has a passive as well. Place a shield on this champion equal to 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. Every turn, she's going to get a nice shield. When attacked under the shield, she has a 35% chance of placing a fear on the attacker for 1 turn. She's like a little mini Fabian in some ways. With the buff removal, she's susceptible to polymorph, both of them, to the sheep. But we have that fear that's constantly being churned out on top of true fear, on top of more fear. I have a really fun fear synergy team that we're going to run with Madame Serris after I show you the best build and talk about some alternatives for you guys here in 2025 and beyond for Madame Serris, right? When I think about this champion, when I build this champion, I'm thinking about exactly how I would build Fabian, right? That means Supersonic and Pinpoint, but it's not the only option for Madame Serris. This is my favorite. I think that 4-piece Supersonic is one of the strongest sets in the entire game, especially for any champion on your account, not just Fabian, not just Madame Serris, but any champion with buff removal, right? Because it's going to trigger their turn when the enemy gets buffs. So ideally, a buff remover, when the enemy's getting a bunch of buffs, is going to be a fantastic choice as to who to go next on your team. So 4-piece Supersonic, the rest of Supersonic, 4-piece, OP. That adds up quickly, right? You get 3 buffs, 18% turn meter fill. Easy. 1 Siffy move, right? And then Pinpoint to protect from sheep. Now, there's 2 other options when we talk about Madame Serris builds, right? We can go with feral sets. Feral is very good on Madame Serris. A 6-piece Feral is ideal, obviously. We're going to start the round with plenty of speed and accuracy, but also block debuffs for 2 turns. Incredibly valuable, especially in this meta. It can be removed, though. It's not protected or anything like that, which is why I like this build a lot better. But then we have a 50% chance to prevent the placement of sheep debuffs by the Polymorph Blessing. Well, listen, guys. A lot of teams, not all teams, but Polymorph Blessing isn't as widely used as it used to be inside the game, okay, for a variety of different reasons. It's still out there, it's still very popular, it's still very annoying, but it's not as popular as it used to be. A lot of other just alternative blessings, Lightning Cage, Life Harvest, etc., are being used. Temporal Chains on champions like a Fabian, for example, right? So people, for a variety of reasons, people are gravitating away from just Polymorph all the time. Even some Stone Cleaver on nukers or some Crushing Rend here and there are being used along with Soul Reap. So there's a lot of options out there for a bunch of champions, even support champions. I've actually, personally, I've moved not all, but a few of my supports, I've moved over to Life Harvest, one of my favorite, most underrated blessings out there in the game. Anyway, I digress, because in this game, there's so many revivers, so Life Harvest is incredibly good. Madame Serris, back on. Okay, Dark Resolve, though, I don't know. That's let me remove that. So when we talk about her blessing, I like Chainbreaker. At the start of the champion's turn, has a chance of removing CC debuffs on this champion. Granted, I have her at 4 stars, so I only have a 15% chance. You can get that up to 20 or up to 25 at 6 stars. This is my personal favorite. You guys can let me know what you prefer on your Madame Serris. I think Molten Deathbell is, of course, maybe the best rare relic for her. It's actually fantastic. Her turn meter increases by 10% when applying fears and true fears. And she dishes out a lot of them, right? So Molten Deathbell is absolutely fantastic. Moreover, we get the, tied for the most important stat on Madame Serris, accuracy, as the first stat. Beautiful, beautiful. In terms of legendary, obviously, Captain Obvious here. Go figure, the Wand of Submission is going to be a great option for Madame Serris. Probably the best option for Madame Serris. Other options for Legendary are Hand of Uncreation. Again, accuracy first stat. You get a chance of, keeping her un-CC'd or un-cooldowned, if that makes sense. All right, so what do we have for her? We have Supersonic and we have Pinpoint. The third build would just be straight up a combination, whatever you have on your account available, of Perception. You could go 3 Perception sets, it works fine. Or you could go maybe Perception and Supersonic, a mix of those. You could go Perception and Pinpoint, a mix of those. So you do have some options there. But old school accuracy Perception is going to be just fine on Madame Serris as well. Speed, though, is going to be imperative. So we have her speed fast. But the beautiful thing is, when you have Supersonic, you don't have to have your best speed gear on the champion. You can focus as well on accuracy and other important stats. Now, her HP is a bit low because I have and less than ideal gauntlets on her. Crit rate, crit damage, not really what you're looking for in Madame Serris. She can't deal much damage, but I am really strapped for good pinpoint gauntlets. In this one, I mean, 32 speed, sign me up. Ideally, we want accuracy on the chest with HP percentage as a ascension or accuracy, okay? But we really want HP percentage as a main stat because of her shield on that passive where she dishes out more fears every time she's attacked. All right, so we have speed, obviously, on the boots. We have accuracy, looking for speed on the banner. And then we just have HP on, or as a main stat priority, or a secondary stat priority after speed and accuracy on Madame Serris. So that's going to be the build. I gave you some alternative options as well. Gosh, I haven't touched these masteries in forever. I don't know what the hell. You ever look at old master? I'm not even going to cut this. I could cut it, but I'm not going to. I want to prove my point. You ever look at old masteries on any of the champions that you haven't played for years? And you're like, what the hell was I thinking? Why did I go with Sniper? Sniper literally does nothing on a Madame Serris. Why do I have no idea what I was thinking. So these masteries, otherwise, they're totally fine. You want Charge Focus, Swarm Smiter, Pinpoint. You want to start with accuracy. Lore of Steel, not going to help her out on this build, but it's a fine option. I would go Cycle of Magic and Lasting Gifts to extend the duration potentially of the block debuffs to 3-turn duration. So that would be what I would do instead of Sniper, right? We would go here. We would go from Swarm Smiter to Cycle of Magic to Lasting Gifts instead. Otherwise, I like this. I love Resurgent on her. I wouldn't even mind going maybe Improved Parry and Wisdom of Battle as well, instead of going 2 on the support side. So you do have some options there. Do I have to pay here to redo it? Yeah. I'm not going to pay 150 gems just to get rid of a Sniper. But yeah, there's nothing on her that would benefit Sniper, right? Fear doesn't count. True Fear doesn't count. And this is already 100%. You know, like, that's it. That's it. We're good. Let's go into battle. Let's take a look at this team. We're going to have a little bit of fun this Halloween. Oh my gosh. I could have sworn I was in platinum for this video. We'll get to platinum. Check a look at this team, guys. Here's the problem. They buffed Fortis, and I hate to say it, Plarium, but you did a lousy-ass job on Fortis. You really did. You really did, man. He still doesn't deal enough damage. Moreover, the secret ability that can be unlocked at a 40% a rate on Astral Terrors, there's nothing else happening. There's 30% ignore defense. There's no ignore, like, to have a secret ability, a secret skill in Raid, I want a block revival. I want ignore all defense. I want something crazy to happen, especially on a Void freaking Legendary, you know? I mean, come on. Come on. That being said, he is the most fear synergistic nuker in the game. As a matter of fact, increases the chance of enemy skills failing by 15% when those enemies are under fear or true fear. He brings his own true fear that can't be resisted by targets under fear? Okay, bro. All right. This secret skill, Astral Terrors, is hard-hitting nuke. Kind of hard-hitting nuke. Has a 40% chance to be unlocked for 1 turn whenever a fear or true fear is placed on an enemy. Hence, we're rocking Fabian. My man is the king of fears and true fears and whatnot, and the queen of fears and true fears in Madame Serris, right? So a lot of chances going before Fortis to unlock his ability. The only problem is I need a speed booster, and I need a speed booster with increased defense, and I'm not going to run Sif. So I'm going to run Grand Oak Podrick, who brings the increased defense for Fortis, on his passive, and the turn meter boost, and a cleanse, and an increased speed. Hell yeah. All right, what are we missing here? A Reviver. But what are we not going against? And you'll see this. It's actually pretty shocking. We don't go against a lot of Polymorph. Granted, there's not a lot of Awakenings on this team. And frankly, it's a pretty easy team to start with. But, I mean, Volcanos always has to be contended with. So we're going to go in with a Cleanse and a Turn Meter boost. We're going to go ahead and reset the cooldowns of the enemy team. And we're going to go ahead and I like this too. Because look, Fabian has buff removal. But we have to deal with affinities. It didn't really bite us here, but we didn't get, it's a 50-50 chance of obviously removal on the Stone Skin. We have another shot here on Madame Serris. This time she removed both of them. Now we can go in with the AoE. We didn't unlock his Astral Terrors, but we did do some nice damage with Fortis. Now we have an ally attack available to us. I want to go ahead and get Embrace off. As tempting as it is to go for Volcanos, you let Embrace transform into his alternate form, it's a bad day for everybody. Let's petrify Volcanos and then pray that we can steal the block damage off of Cheshire Cat. And we do. All right, so now we can go in there. We unlock the secret ability of because of fear and true fear was landed, right? So we unlocked the secret ability of Astral Terrors on Fortis, and boom, he still can't kill him. But we still get the job done. I gotta say, it's a fun little team, isn't it, guys? This is one of the, honestly, like, not to pontificate about raid content creation, but this is what I enjoy about raid content creation. This is what I enjoy, is like making fun teams like this. They're a little bit off meta, but still super fun. Hey guys, look what I just found. Last year's Halloween fusion, Gretel and Hansel together. Oh, let's see what we can do here. I kind of want to go right into the Queen of Hearts instead of speed boosting with an ally attack here. Because Queen of Hearts is going to steal our turn if we don't kill her right now, or she's going to go next with the instant turn. Are you kidding me? There we go. Oh my God. They go right with the boost anyway, but we're able to get in front and yeah, go with Fabian. So now we can debuff and hopefully set the table for our nuker here. Frickin' Hansel getting his turn. Don't like that. Let's go ahead and speed boost here. And there we go. We didn't unlock it, man. We only had one, I guess. All right. Hey, his A2 actually did smack there. I'm not going to lie. Everybody else on the team is dead, but can Fortis finish him off? Hell yeah, he can. Hell yeah, he can. Let's do this. And we just can't unlock the Astral Terrors. We still get the job done, though. That's nice. Let's get another team here, guys. I don't know. Let's see if we can beat this team. All right, so we're going to go. This time we're going to boost. Going to hand it to Fabian. We have one shot removing that stone skin. Fantastic. We get it done. Let's go Fabian on Fabian crime here. And then let's go with some debuffs. Fantastic. Set the table for our guy. He's going to land his True Fear. Kill a few of them. Fantastic. All right. Let's ally attack. Oh, no, no, no. No, Ash. No, Ash. Don't kill. Oh, of course, we're not going to kill her. Don't worry. Oh, we are going to kill her. Damn it. It's okay. We're going to have True Fears for days. I'm trying to show you guys what a longer battle would look like here. That's all. I wanted to illustrate the A2. I didn't make a dumb play. I'm just doing it so you guys know like what not to do. You know? Just looking out for you guys. There we go. All right. Let's kill Siegfried. And now let's terrorize. AKA kill one of them. Hey, how about ignore block damage on the Astral Terrors? That'd be a cool ability to have, huh? That'd be a nasty ability to have. All right, let's go in here and clean up and boost and, oh God, kill one target. And it's funny, I'm showing a lot of Fortis here in this video, and I'm trying to be excited about my man, but I'm not very excited about my guy Fortis. Can you tell I've been crapping on him the entire video? The shame of it is what I want to say is, hey, listen, he's pretty bad, guys. I agree. But that means he's probably up there on the list that Plarium has to buff champions. That's what I should be saying. Unfortunately, they just buffed him. Just buffed him earlier this year, I should say. All right, let's go in with that trick and treats. All right, we got the job done. It wasn't pretty. I tried to screw everything up, but we did get the job done. All right, guys, let's see what we can do against this squad here. We got a little Cometus action. We could use the block debuffs. Let's try to steal something that they have here, right? So let's go in. Oh, they've got a little, well, we're not going to steal because Fabian went first. We are going to try to petrify Cometus. And then, so we landed a lot of true fears with Fabian there. That's going to be, finally, we get the Astral Terrors unlocked. And finally, we see some big boy damage. Let's go against another squad here. How about this all-mythical team? I don't feel very good about it, but let's try anyway. They have a resistance aura with a Star Sage. That scares me a lot because, listen, my accuracy is fairly high, but not necessarily that high. Let's see how many resists here we get on Fabian. They're all mythicals anyway, so they're just going to change. But hey, okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. Let's see if we can remove... No. No dice. Let's go in here with at least... Okay, we kill Crixia. That's cool. And, hey, we survive somehow, some way. We survive. Now we're not going to survive this, though. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Did we bite off more than we could chew? We did. One more match, guys. All right, guys. One more mythical team. The grand finale here. The last one didn't work out so well. Let's see how we can do against this squad. Only one stone skin on the team from Carnage. We're going to go in with the turn meter boost. I will say, after playing this squad a little bit, it's a lot of fun. I'd certainly rather have a reviver. Let's get in there on Carnage. Land some True Fears. Let's land our debuffs. And we have it, guys. This is our big opportunity, right? We're not going to kill Siegfried. We're not going to kill Starsage. I do want to kill Carnage and what's-his-face. We do that. Now, we run the... There's a big risk here, but I still want to trigger the passive of Starsage. And we don't. Fantastic. Let's try to steal the block damage from Siegfried. And we do. Beautiful. Let's go in here and play with the turn meter of Siegfried. Let's give him a big nuke. And sayonara! There we go. Eat that, Hell Ryan 1991, you youngin'. You youngin'. I was 11 years old when you were born, playing Super Nintendo every morning, grinding, walking my way all the way to the controller. Oh, sorry, I got a little out of control there, didn't I? GG's. It's a lot easier being on offense than it is in defense. Listen, this team was a lot of fun. I'm not sitting here saying it's a world beater, but this last match showed you some potential. Little things like stealing the block damage from Siegfried ended up being a game changer, right? So anyway, I like Madame Serris. She's still my favorite Halloween champion of all time here in Raid Shadow Legends. What about you guys? Let me know what you think of this champion. Sure, she's been crept a little bit, but I still think she's very, very good and can be used on a lot of accounts out there. Not just in the arena, by the way, areas like Centranos and Faction Wars and beyond. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.